Hi, everybody. I wanted to use a typical scenario that would teach you how multi-pronged conditionals work. So let's say I have a ski resort, okay? And lift tickets at my resort are $20 before noon, 25 in the afternoon from noon to 6, and $15 for night skiing. So when we visualize this, we want to create a price. So the users would choose their lift ticket. Upon selection, we need to output the cost of the ticket. Taxes are 6% for Californians and 8% for users from out of state. Okay, so let's code this, and we're going to do it in PHP. Okay, so I'm going to open up PHP here, and we're going to show the power of the conditional. So basically, we have a button down here, right? And we'll do input type equals submit. Oops. And the name can be submit as well. Okay, so we don't want to calculate unless we know the button was submitted. That's just good UX. So I'm going to create a variable called submit that equals scalar underscore post submit. Okay, and if scalar submit is equal to, let me get back this correctly here. If scalar submit is equal to the string reserved lift tickets, then we'll know that that button has been pressed. Okay, so this is the value of the name attribute for submit. We're post method, so that's why it's submit equals post submit. And if submit equals reserved lift tickets, now we need to get time, get state, and then we need to calculate. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to get the time. So the time would be equal to scalar underscore post, and all we have to do is change this ID to time. So this is time. Okay, and that would be equal to morning, afternoon, or night. Okay, well that's simple enough. So we can calculate the cost based on that. So let's write a conditional. If time is equal to morning, then cost would be equal to 20. All right. Okay, so we can do if statements. If 25, if afternoon, it's 25. If it's night, it's 15. But what we can do is treat our multi-pronged conditional almost like a filter. Think of like how you drain spaghetti. I know that probably sounds very odd, but if this is the afternoon, this is the other time of day. So this is afternoon, excuse me. Afternoon, then the cost would be $25. Okay, so now we've got a multi-pronged conditional based on time. Now, the other alternative is nighttime. So that can be my else. So if this happens to be 11 o'clock in the AM, something like that, then this would be the condition and the rest would escape. It would break. It wouldn't, it would leave the condition because this condition has been met. If this hadn't been, if it were afternoon, then it would be this. Otherwise, which is all other times of the day, it's 20 or 15. I'm sorry, $15 for night skiing. That tells us the cost. Now we got to get our taxes. So we can get taxes by doing select name and state. Okay, so we'll do scalar state equals scalar underscore post in state. Okay, and if state is equal to yes, then taxes equals 0.06. That's California, right? Else, all others, taxes equals 0.08. Because our out-of-state people pay a little bit more. Okay, so now we have this, we can do our calculations. So the calculation would be scalar cost times taxes, oops, taxes, and then we'll re-add the cost. So scalar cost plus cost times taxes. And now lastly, we can echo your cost is dot scalar cost. So let's do total and make it equal to that. And then this is total, like that. So what we've got here is a solution based on two different types of multi-pronged conditionals. One, an if-else, else-if, or if-else-if else statement. The other one is an if-else. Let's test it now. So I'm going to my MAMP install. We'll do localhost down to 88 conditions. And we've got a fatal error, which is fine. Let's see what it might be. So this is your if-else. This is your if-else. Okay, that's good. If time, this is your multi-prong. This is if submit. So the way to troubleshoot this, let's make sure every statement has a semicolon. Let's make sure every condition has double equals. That's good. And let's make sure, oh, there's no semicolon there. So let's go back and give her another try. And there we go. So let's do before noon, California resident, yes. And we'll let it roll, and your cost is $15.90. Let's see what it is during prime time, out of state, $21.60. So that is how we can use a multi-pronged conditional to deal with situations like the scenario I've presented.